We begin today's list of the best fighting games, like Street Fighter 6, with Virtua Fighter 5. Now, the Virtua Fighter series has long been held as the father of modern fighting games. And with Virtua Fighter 5, we see how far the franchise has come since its humble beginnings in arcade machines. As the name would imply, Virtua Fighter 5 is the fifth entry in the long-running franchise, and features some of the most memorable characters added to the roster. These additions include characters like Eileen and El Blaze, which have distinct fighting styles. The amount of variety and the authenticity with which the moves are captured in the game is certainly impressive. While it may lack flashy effects similar that would make it more similar to other titles, as a core fighter, this game is excellent. With a roster of characters that players remember fondly to this day, this game stands as a testament to the strength of its core gameplay and competitive nature. Many of the first video game tournaments were centered around Virtua Fighter 5. For these reasons and more, we consider it one of the best games like Street Fighter 6 ever to exist. Next up on our list of the best fighting games like Street Fighter 6, we have Mortal Kombat 11. This game takes the familiar Mortal Kombat formula and adds quite a bit to it. Since its inception, Mortal Kombat has always been about the game's over-the-top gore and solid technical grounding in its gameplay. This can be seen not only in how well the older games in the series have aged, but also within Mortal Kombat 11. First, this gives the game a strong core identity that still maintains its legacy. This can be seen clearly within the game. Secondly, the game offers many modes for the players to play and learn in. This is great for a fighting game, as many of the technical aspects can be harder to grasp and require more time to learn. Additionally, the game features a tower system in which players can challenge multiple floors with different modifiers. This varies the gameplay and makes it a greatly replayable experience. To close, Mortal Kombat 11 is one of the best games like Street Fighter 6 in recent memory. Now for a list of games like Street Fighter 6, we would be remiss not to mention its predecessor. Street Fighter 5, after receiving a bit of fan backlash in its initial stages, has gone on to become a beloved entry in the franchise. This can be seen in the popular playing of the game, and the fact that many players still turn to it in order to train their Street Fighter skills. In addition, there are many interesting elements to the game, such as the ability to bet fight money in online matches. This ramps up the tension and adds to each match's stakes. The roster for the game is also great, as it features many Street Fighter staples. Additionally, there are more cinematic moves in the game, which can be triggered by meeting certain requirements. This manages to give the game a tad bit more flair, especially when a player is doing well. So while the game did originally release with a bit less content than fans would have wanted, it has gone on to rectify those mistakes. And for that, in simply being an incredibly solid fighting game, we consider Street Fighter 5 one of the best games like Street Fighter 6. Switching things up a bit to something a tad bit darker and more weapon-focused. The Soul Calibur series has always stood beside industry titans such as Tekken and Street Fighter since its inception. And with Soul Calibur 6, it can be seen the game's legacy continues. For players who are unaware, the amount of iconic characters in the game is staggering, each with their own distinct fighting styles and weapons that make them stand out. This has led the game to have an identity that is easily distinguishable from other fighting game titles. This game also manages to change the formula just a bit, and adds a bit of variety to the gameplay. It manages to do this through its improved battle system, which makes it stand out even amongst other Soul Calibur games. With one of the most in-depth single-player experiences as well, it can be easy to see how this game has lasted as long as it has. The game also features in-depth character customization that will keep you playing for hours, tweaking your character. In conclusion, Soul Calibur 6 is one of the best games like Street Fighter 6, currently on the market. For the last entry in our list of the best games like Street Fighter 6, here we have an entry from a franchise that is said to rival Street Fighter. While the two games definitely have their differences, there is definitely something to be said about the fluidity of Tekken's movements and attacks. This leads the game to feel quite a bit more responsive to player inputs, and creates what some feel is a smoother overall experience. Tekken 7 also features an extensive story mode, which people are still keeping up with and following to this day. The legend of the Kazama clan is one that has permeated through the years. This can be seen in the fan support of these characters, as well as the overall hype surrounding the soon-to-be-released Tekken 8. With many memorable characters and perhaps one of the most diverse rosters on offer, this game has been able to live in the hearts of many players. It is for these reasons and so many more that we consider Tekken 7 not only one of the best fighting games like Street Fighter 6, but also a fantastic game in its own right.